You are the members of a sinister gang called the Midnight Crew. Your nefarious plots are serpentine in complexity. Your schemes convoluted. You are planning a heist in your underground hideout. What are you gonna do? Spade Slick uses Occam's razor to carve a circular hole into the heist plans, freeing it from the knife. You wonder what moron would jam the knife so hard into the table in the first place. You push against the manhole cover, but it seems some unbelievable jackass has parked your getaway van on top of it. A familiar feeling stirs. This feeling is overwhelming, soul-blackened in rage. It's the sort of rage that'll make a man feel totally justified in sporting an unnecessarily elaborate assortment of fancy blades. Graveyard stuffers. Stupid, lousy, wise and just leader. What a royal pain in the ass. Here, stick this in your pipe and bleed to death slowly. Your name is Spade Slick. You're the leader of a notoriously vicious gang of mobsters called the Midnight Crew. A rival gang known as the Fell recently knocked over one of your favorite casinos. Your long quest of revenge has finally taken you through the front door of the mansion belonging to their loathsome boss, Lord English. Your subordinates, Clubs Deuce, Diamonds Droog, and Hot Sparks cars have been dispatched to various locations throughout the mansion to begin carrying out your mission. Your objective is to locate and crack English's secret vault and plunder its mysteries. That's the business end of it. The pleasure will be in painting this ugly house red with the blood of those miserable green motherfuckers. You inspect the timekeeping devices. Stupid gang and their lousy obsession with clocks. The sooner all these idiots stop being alive, the better. You wonder where they are. It's awfully quiet in this mansion, sans all the dreadful ticking. It is suggested that you capture log the carriage clock. You obviously have no idea what that means. If it's some smart-ass way of saying to pick it up, forget it. You're already carrying an item. It's a trusty deck of cards. It is suggested that you build a fort with the clocks. You have an idea. That is so much better. Clocks destroyed, 4 out of 1,000. You check for traps under the billiards rug. What is under the rug is much worse than any trap you can imagine. It's a member of a species that you do not recognize with a ghastly void up lip. You cover the unsightly individual back up and try to forget it ever existed. It is suggested that you play 32 pickup. You would need a deck of cards to play that infernal game. Fortunately, all you have is your war chest, which you deploy on the floor. You open your war chest. You rummage around. It's no unusual assortment of belongings, and not in any mobster worth this salt would be caught plotting and scheming without. Certainly not an eyebrow raising. Bunch of blades, some playing cards, and a variety of other miscellaneous stuff. Also your vendetta itinerary and your heist map. It is suggested that you scavenge war chest for fancy headwear. If there are any elaborate hairdressers in here, you'll eat your haberdasher. But of course, there is only a plain and serviceable backup hat, which naturally conceals 2 licorice Scotty dogs. Which makes you think that maybe you were wearing your backup hat, and this is the usual one? Hell if you know. They're the same damn hat. It is suggested that you hide inside your war chest. But you cannot properly hide inside the chest because you cannot close it while you're inside. Instead, you momentarily pretend it's a really cool automobile that commands the fear and respect of larcenous adversaries everywhere. Beep, beep, beep! I'll aboard the idiot wagon! It is suggested that you start up the Crosby top. Is that what this thing is? You've had it for some time and you don't quite remember how you got it. You never knew the identity of this pipe-smoking creature. Perhaps it could be the same species as the character you saw under the rug. But you know that's impossible because this one does not feature the same bizarre void lip. They're probably different species within the same genus. You go to mspaintadventures.com. You don't know why you're wasting your time on this website. It's for little children who poop hard in the baby-ass diapers. Also, you don't understand what the hell is going on or who all these characters are. It's all a lot of nonsense. You delete the time setting on the Crosby top. Clock's destroyed, 5 out of 1,000. It is suggested that you take the spade key. You take the rules card for blackjack. You've possessed this item for as long as you can remember. You do not yet know its significance, though you can hustle up a mean game of blackjack when you need to. You examine your vendetta itinerary. These are the mugshots of everyone who you are going to kill. You got a head start. You're already off crowbar, matchsticks, and quarters, depleting them of some of their muscle. You still gotta watch out for the others and stay aware of their despicable time shenanigans. Itchy has given you the slip repeatedly. Those you've captured and interrogated just as repeatedly to no avail. Trace has broken into your secret hideout more times than you can count, while Finn always seems to be a step ahead of you and scoops your heists. Clover has all the intel and is highly cooperative. You might need him to crack the vault. He'll be guarded. Best to avoid dying in any direct confrontations unless you want a temporal mess on your hands. But if you need any repairs, you could always get to Stitch and persuade him. And you might need to if you can't kill Sawbuck with a clean shot. Eggs and biscuits are morons, but they are dangerous morons. Kansas a tank and your crew will probably need more ammunition than you pack to take him down. No one knows what Lord English looks like, but that'll be corrected tonight. You got dibs on English. He's all yours. You wonder where the number 8 mugshot went. It's right here. You aren't gonna kill Snowman. Is that the question? You examine your heist map. On review, your schemes seem a bit convoluted, but you wouldn't have it any other way. Deuce and Droog split up to neutralize as many felt as they could find. Your heavy muscle and expert safecracker, Boxcars, is headed straight down to the vault. You put the word out to your cronies for a status report. No response yet. You clean up all your junk and prepare to get this show on the road. You slip the spade key back into the deck of cards, then pocket the war chest. Smooth as clockwork, and every bit as logical. You enter the hallway near the main entrance. Funny, you didn't hear any commotion at gunplay, but it looks like there's already been some action in here. Or there will be. You can never take 10s for granted with these goons. 13 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed, apparently. Looks like Club's Deuce is getting back to you. He says he's got those tied up for interrogation. You ask him what else is new. Capturing that guy is like shooting a paralyzed monkey in the face. Spade Slick. Stop being Hot's Boxcars. Alright, you're the boss. Hot's Boxcars you ain't. Someone has replaced your plain and serviceable hat with a silly and undersized one. An outrage beyond compare. You're sure you know who the culprit was? You can still smell his overly caffeinated blood. 986 out of 1,000 clocks shown moisty. You lift your left leg and hold it a little ways in the air. Oops. 4 out of 15 green torsos dead. It is suggested that you wear CD's hat on top of your current one. You're already wearing Deuce's hat, you fool. The one on the floor is Droog's hat. This is exactly why you always keep a backup hat on hand. This son of a bitch on the floor here has played his last game of musical hats. Soon these lugs will learn to show you some respect. You made this town what it is, after all. Wasn't nothing but a bunch of dust and rocks before you got here. You deploy your chest and swap this dinky little hat for one more suited to your tastes. Wait a minute. Oh, thank God. Your precious Scotty dogs are still here. You don't know what you'd do without them. You don't even want to think about it. Die makes his usual sort of entrance. The nonplussed, vaguely bewildered sort. Spade Slick. Make friends with Die. You introduce your cast iron horse hitcher to your new friend. Die scrambles for a pin he's been saving for a special occasion. How many times does he have to tell you? He made this town. Spade Slick. Rematerialize. That doesn't make any sense. You never went anywheres. Die realizes there is a cost to settling the score with you in this way. The cost is having to live in a desert amidst the ruins of a dead civilization for the rest of his life. He thinks that's stupid, so he pulls your pin. You help the Green Man live up to his name. You grab his voodoo doll and stick his pin in there for good measure. Might as well keep track of everyone you've offed this week, too. Not that you intend to abuse its power to settle your score. What's the point if you're not gonna get your hands dirty? Still, it might come in handy down the road. Lord English is supposedly indestructible. He's rumored to be killable only through a number of glitches and exploits in space-time. This doll may ultimately help you work the system if it comes to that. Clocks, destroy them. 29 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. 5 out of 15 green torsos dead. Spade Slick, return to being Hot's Boxcars. I know. Look, I'll be right there. I'll see if I can round up crew for support. Alright, roger that. 8 out of 15 green torsos dead. You remove Crowbar's pin. Crowbar's alive again, and a whole bunch of other stuff is different. You forgot this gang almost seems halfway competent when he's running the show. The good news is you get to kill him again. It is suggested that you insert and quickly remove Snowman's pin. You have no idea how much you'd like to, but even you're not that crazy. Still, kinda tempting. Ouch. Fuck. Ugh. Everyone always ceases gunplay when Snowman's around. And if you kill her, you destroy the universe. It is suggested that you remove the knife from your eye. It's not a knife. Snowman's cigarette holder. All you know is she's gonna have a hell of a time getting it back. You chuck the lance at Sawbuck. But of course, it's only a flesh wound. Seems like that's the only sort of wound you can ever inflict on that corpulent lummox. Consequently, you and he both jump to a random point on the timeline. This looks to be in the recent past, where Stitch and Crowbar were setting up the crates for an imminent gunfight. Which was very thoughtful of them. Your goons should be showing up any minute with the heavy firepower. For now, you've got the drop on everybody. It is suggested that you kill something out of rage and frustration. Stitch gets the business into your saber rattle. He's dead. In this timeline, at least. It is further suggested that you bring knives to the gunfight. Where do you think you're going, fatty? You'll deal with him in a minute. You whip out your double-edged sword and Occam's razor. Occam's razor, Crowbar's head. Make it happen. Crowbar deflects the King of Spades into Sawbuck's unmissable carriage. You jump far into the past. Years in the past, which is to say the present for the time being, a scurrilous straggler eyes the impromptu desert skirmish. He dismisses them as a bunch of ill-mannered rogues warranting no further investigation. Although he does give a small nod of approval to the plain and serviceable hat worn by one of the combatants, which strikes him as an absolutely smashing display of good fashion sense. You hit Crowbar on the head. You can't kill him yet. You need him alive to return to the original timeline. You will be taking that Crowbar, though. You cram him in the war chest. Sawbuck you need to keep alive too for the moment. Not to return to the right timeline, but to the right time. Speaking of which, where's Tubby think he's waddling off to? It's suggested that you just go stab Sawbuck until the time shenanigans stop. You treat him to a bit of the old bait and switchblade. You'll be in the future. You guess this is after the gunfight is over? The gunfight that never took place since you kidnapped everyone who was supposed to be involved? Looks like only Boxcars is here. You carry Sawbuck like Titan Atlas would carry the world. You order Hots to drop his tub on the double before this fat lord puts you in a wheelchair. If you take Sawbuck back to your own time and kill him there, that should save you the trouble of hunting him down. Might as well take Stitch too. Maybe. You're not really sure if that's how it works. You don't really care though. You dump him in the raft tub, then stick the tub in your own deck of cards. But you give Boxcars back his sordid literature, which he carelessly left in plain sight. No one will ever catch you leaving your smut around, and even if you did, that copy of Terrier Fancy magazine could belong to anybody. No one could prove nothing. You stick Crowbar's pin back in again, and you go back to your original timeline. But now, stuffed in your chest, you've got a live Crowbar from another timeline. Brought to the timeline where he's supposed to be dead. So you guess he's alive in this timeline, which is in part defined by his death? Okay, whatever. Should probably just kill him again anyway. Also, Sawbuck from another timeline is in there too. So you guess now there are two Sawbucks. This is getting kinda dumb. You open the chest, releasing them both. Crowbar doesn't look too pleased. Deflect his gunfire into the awesome gravitational pull of Sawbuck's astonishing girth. Everybody into the past! You dodge his next round too. It seems the Sawbuck from this timeline, i.e. the real Sawbuck, was in this room at this point in time. He and Crowbar exchange bullets. Off they go! They no doubt go on to spend the rest of their ammunition peppering each other across the timeline, destroying all these clocks in the process between now and the present. You guess that explains the mess when you got here. Thank God you figured that out. You'd surely have lost sleep over it. 20 out of 107 clocks re-destroyed for the first time. Eventually. You know what? Never mind! It suggested that you take a moment to think of some time-based one-liners. Okay, you think you got one. Time travel sure can be a double-edged sword! Wait, that was awful. Really, really bad. You sure you can do better than that? Let's see. Sorry to... No. Time's running... No, wait. Fuck. You ask yourself from the past for a little help. Times... No, something about time. Time being up. No, wait. No, wait, how about some kind of clock pun? No, damn it, will you just listen? You're almost onto something. Time is... Screw this! Too many cooks in the kitchen. Oh, and just what does this quivering mound of blubber think he's up to? Stab first, other puns later. Just as you hear your past self asking what happened to your eye, you jab Sawbuck with your butterfly effect knife. You remember a little while ago asking yourself about your eye, and not giving yourself an answer just before disappearing. Maybe if you stopped and thought about it for a second, you could have warned yourself and avoided the whole mess, albeit in the process of creating a paradox. But your strict policy of stabbing first and asking questions later prevented it. You're sure your past self understands/understood. You are sure of this because you very clearly remember understanding/understooding. You are now past Spade Slick. Again. You were just about to pull Crowbar's pin. You guess all that stuff with your future self and Sawbuck originally happened in this room while we were all off watching someone else, like Diamond Stroke or something. Yeah, that makes sense. You remove Crowbar's pin. A whole bunch of shit happens that we already saw. Past Spade Slick. Be future Spade Slick. Being your future self is a lot more constructive because you get to do stuff you haven't already done. Looks like you're in the future. It's a bloody mess in here. The clocks are more bullet-riddled than ever. It seems Crowbar and both Sawbucks have been decapitated. You're almost certain this is something you will be, or were already responsible for. Which of course means more time traveling. Looks like the tub and chest are gone, which means future you must have packed up and left already. Gotta take note of these sort of things so you know where they are on the timeline. You notice something on the wall over there. One of the clocks that wasn't destroyed before is now bloodied and full of holes. Not especially noteworthy. You just have a feeling you should register this fact. 108 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. It suggested that you quickly remove Lance from Sawbuck. You pried a cigarette holder from his torso. Whoops, another time jump. This tub of goo keeps going for his gun. Widebody's gotta settle his big ass down. Should really incapacitate him without inflicting another wound. Count some sheep, bitch! Wait, the clock on the wall. It hasn't been destroyed yet. But it's about to be. It's ticking down to the time it's stuck on in the future. Maybe if you time it just right, you can end this whole mess in one fell slice. You even got a nice cold one-liner to dish out when the time comes. You've been working on it pretty hard. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hate to cut in. Wait, no, not yet. Wait for it. Hate to... No, wait. Hate to cut in. Damn it, not yet. Hate to cut and run. Shit. Hate to chop all your heads off with this sword. Real sorry about that. My bad. You slay them all with your rapier wit. 9 out of 15 green torsos dead. 2 out of 9 green torsos dead in twice. 1 out of 15 green torsos dead for the first time, but it's an alternate universe torso, so maybe that doesn't count. 7 out of 108 clocks gratuitously redestroyed. Grab the tub and chest and move on. That is altogether enough of this nonsense. Okay, I killed Crowbar again, Sawbuck twice, and Stitch once. I guess so. Fucking shooting douche and asshole. Wait, hold on, I took some damage from Snowman. I got both their heads, so I'll be down as soon as I can. In the meantime, see what you can do about this eye. Droog! Fuck! Oh, undo it! This time wait until I'm turned around. It's only right when facing left. It's the left eye when facing right. Yeah, but hang on a minute, I gotta turn around so it's right-left. That's better. Spade Slick, arm yourself in case Can shows up. If Can shows up, none of these weapons you got are gonna do any good. You admire the lance for a moment. It's a pretty sweet weapon with outstanding craftsmanship. At least it got something out of the eye gouging. She'll have to pry this thing from your rigid severed arm if she wants it back. It is suggested that you ride around on a horse hitcher pretending to joust. Yee-haw! Oh shit! You can't believe she saw you horsing around like that. You will never live this down. Charge! This is incredibly delirious business. You start whacking things with the crowbar. The first thing you whack is Eggs' egg timer. Do this because of course you know that Crowbar's crowbar will destroy any temporal artifact and completely negate its effect on the timeline. Slick, Crowbar, Biscuits Oven, make it happen. You deal the oven a wicked flogging, but not much happens. The oven doesn't really have any magical time properties to be negated. It just travels into the future at a rate of 1 second per second, like everyone else. 12 out of 15 green torsos dead. Probably some more clocks destroyed too. Since your exploit safecracker apparently spent the last 5 or 6 hours being totally useless down here, you figure it's time to take things in your own hands. Huh? What's this little fellow waked up about? You politely ask Clover to remain calm. He refuses outright and starts doing a really frisky jig. He begins spinning a fanciful series of riddles illuminating the true path to opening the vault. Mysterious music fills your ears as your mind assumes the shape of a pretzel. This is how the music would sound if we were listening to it right now. You don't care what the consequences are. You were gonna crack open this safe and be done with it. This whole intermission was starting to get a little punchy anyway. The massive release of temporal distortion from the vault transports you to a highly unfavorable timeline. Looks like the entire mansion was leveled, except for the vault and its enclosure. Everyone's dead except for you and you know who. But at least the safe's open. 1,000 out of 1,000 clocks destroyed. 14 out of 15 green torsos dead. 3 out of 4 black scofflaws offed. You enter the vault. There's nothing in here except an opening in the floor. There's a door with a keyhole, and you have a feeling you know how to open it. You only wonder why English's treasure would be locked behind a door with a spade on it. You guess this is what the spade key was for all this time. You dramatically wield the spade key in a matter-of-fact manner. Peek inside the keyhole. What keyhole? It was clearly a barcode scanner all along. Like the kind they sweep groceries over at supermarkets. That reminds you, you should really do some shopping next week. You're not gonna peek inside because the lasers could blind you in one eye. Oh wait! This was never a problem because there is clearly a barcode printed on your rules card for blackjack. As well as your arm. But there's nothing wrong with little redundancy, you guess. Huh? Oh, you looking for this? Well, come and get it, you contemptuous she-witch! Oh! You gotta flip it. This guy again. It's been a long time. Hey kid. Yeah, you. Can I help you? That ticket better be notarized and punched in triplicate and presented with the full $1 penalty plus processing fees, or you will waste invaluable time I could otherwise spend shirking my clerical duties. Let me make myself clear. I would rather stab something to death than process the avalanche of paperwork needed to release that confiscated freight. Also, any legit courier would have the pickup forms ready to go. In spite of how I'm supposed to be dressed right now, but I'm not, I ain't nobody's fool. But perhaps an understanding can be reached. You see this hit list? Bring me the crowns. I'll get you the package. Just find the kid you've been looking for. He's got a pretty sharp tongue and can't seem to keep it sheathed. He should line up front that you're no stranger to sharp objects yourself. He still won't shut up.
Shit.
He doesn't seem to care about the wound. He's just going on and on about the freakish color of his blood. He doesn't want you to look at it. Just look away, he says. You gotta admit, now you're curious. You look at your knife. You don't see what the big deal is. Nothing special. This kid's out of his mind. But he's still blubbering on and on about it. It seems he's the only one of his kind with this mutant candy red blood. An outcast. He thinks he was put on this planet in an ocean of his own blood to be taunted. Punished for something. Saddest story you've ever heard. Gotta do something to shut him up. There, you goddamn blubbering pansy. Hey kid, never got a chance to say how much I hate you. Every last one of yous. Goddamn troll kids. Every time you toy around they smooching each other. Makes a man want to stab his own gut and puke blood. It's bad enough you had to watch this broad smooch a corpse and this kid bawl his eyes out once already. Even if it was centuries ago. Next! For the lover. Why would they even design a button like that if it didn't print the right advancement characters? You were getting really tired of mashing the equals key.
Kid.
Where'd you go? I was gonna show you my... Here. Are those wings?
What?
Doesn't matter. I have a serious point of business to discuss with you. Yeah. I know. God, it's not the point. It's complicated. This is more important than any of that stuff. You mean the courtyard droll? I want to be sure this is the same droll you're talking about. You mean the very same droll who couldn't manage the one simple task assigned to him to steal the White Queen's ring from the very same adoring, wonderful girl and master and friend in question? Wait, I just mean Goyle. Just Goyle. You didn't hear any of that. Fine, you win. Sick the stupid droll on her. What do I care?
Did you not believe?
Another coffin clogger bites the dust. 2 down, 2 to go. You done ringing the tower to blow? Good. Over. What is it? Out with it. What do you care? Just follow your orders. It's all fair game now that the kingdom's under new management. The new boss ain't opposed to taking some shrewd tactical shortcuts. I like the cut of a jib. Will you shut up about the hats? I don't think that's a hat. I think it's something called hair. Now quit all the yapping and follow your damn orders. What does? I don't care if it felt like a fucking full body massage. Just get those bombs ready to blow. Over and out. Wait. Fed him what? You know what else is super deadly? Knives. Sharp, deadly knives that you stick in people's soft torsos to make them bleed until they die. Forget it. What's done is done. The Prosperian heroes are dead, and that's all that matters. Just be ready to detonate at the appointed time. Forget about those two. They're much trickier to deal with. I got the dignitary working on it right now. I'll get a report from it as soon as I return. I wouldn't have even bothered leaving in the first place, but I wanted to make the trip personally and stick at all these self-righteous, sky-bathing goody two-shoesers myself. Hang on, something's happening here. I gotta go. Founder. What? Alright, spill the beans. Wait, the brute's dead? Damn it! He was one of my best agents. Never really cared for the guy, but I admired his brutality. This is getting personal. What's the status on these little shits? Where are they now? Gone what? Rogue? Just gonna finish up business here and take the next shuttle to Dice. Over and out. What about that lady? So what's the story? She available? That don't matter. Cause she's gonna be available soon.